ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 249, May 28, 2025. Let us be the first to wish you happy National Brisket and or Burger Day. Edge, did you have either of those, brisket, burger?
Burger, for sure.
Are you saying you choose it or you did have one of those today?
No, I had one. I had it left over from a Memorial Day cookout. I had it for lunch.
Turkey burger? Real burger?
Get the kind of turkey burger. Impossible burger you think I am.
Can you call a turkey burger a burger?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just gross.
I disagree. My wife likes turkey burgers. We eat them sometimes.
Well, congratulations. I don't eat them. I don't want an Impossible burger. I don't want a turkey burger. I don't want that. Just ground turkey, like making the patties, is disgusting. I mean,
it does get watery sometimes.
See there, that's not a real burger.
Yeah, it does. But they're getting. I mean,
no,
I do like.
No, don't make excuses. No,
buddy, I had one the other day that had bacon jam on it. A burger. It was.
So the turkey burger was so disgusting that you had to put it with bacon fat on it.
Bacon jam.
The same thing, isn't it?
I don't know. The only appropriate way to eat bacon on a burger is to mush it up and mix it with jelly. My opinion.
That's the most disgusting thing I ever heard of. You're ridiculous.
No. When you come to visit, I'm going to take
your meat touching on your grill and your, milkshakes that you don't know the difference between a milkshake and an ice cream sandwich. Yeah,
all that stuff.
Anyways,
I stand firm on all of my points. I do not waver. You know that.
I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying you're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm AK. That's Edge. Tex will be on his way.
World's finest Edge. Get it right.
G.U.Y.S is flying over the Atlantic Ocean. I think he's going to Ireland or Scotland or something. He's doing something. I don't know what he's doing. He's going flying
to Australia.
somewhere.
What are you talking about, dude?
G.U.Y.S?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. He's flying somewhere.
I have no clue.
The brisket comes from the breast area and is separated into point cuts and flat cuts. The point cut is fatty and full of connective tissue, which makes it a great candidate for braising or smoking. There you go. So point cuts, not flat cuts, all day long, right? I don't know. But do you have any thoughts on brisket?
It's.
I mean, you're a South Carolina guy, so mustard on my barbecue, this and that stuff.
I make a mean brisket, but it is a lot of work for just fat, honestly. Like it really is. I mean, let's think about it. It's fatty, nasty meat that you have to do a lot of work for. You have to cook it a long time in order for it to be right. And honestly, that's why Tex likes it, because he's lazy and he's from Texas and they have horrible football. So they have nothing to do but prep their brisket all day and cook and drink beer. So
the highlights just going to the tailgate to look at each other's meats.
That's right. Yeah.
So we've got a whole bunch of playoffs going on right now. Currently, the Carolina Hurricanes were up 2-0. That quickly got reversed in a hurry. It's now 2-2, and I'm pretty sure the Timberwolves are getting absolutely bamboozled out of the gym. Yes, they're losing. They're losing by 30, and they've only scored 27 points in the half. So that's over. I think you can put to rest the whole Anthony Edwards is an expert. He's one of those guys, not to get right into it, but Anthony Edwards is one of those guys that's like, once all the smoke and once everything, whenever things are going well, running his mouth, which I respect, but then whenever it's going bad, he acts like he doesn't care. And I'm like, no. At some point, you got to have the killer instinct if you're going to be face of the league. If you're not face of the league material, right? I don't care what sport it is. You got to have that dog in you. Can't only have the dog in you whenever things are going well, right?
My TV's messing up. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the.
Oh my gosh. Okay, while you're doing that, shout out to the group of 5 guys I called in. Awesome show. Advocates of fair football across the country. And especially the group of 5, probably the group of 6, maybe even the group of 8 guys coming up. But they have an awesome YouTube channel. They go to a bunch of games for, the Sun. Oh, no, Florida Panthers just scored. It's 3-2.
Shut your mouth. Don't ruin it.
The group of 5 guys, awesome. They are advocates for every single non-Power 5 football conference. They are awesome, and we've got to join forces whenever it comes to things like that, because we're going to go into depth today again about the college football playoff. We've got that going on. We got the College World Series. We got playoffs. We're in a 3-1 slump. Somebody's got to bust this slump. Wow, that was a sick pass along the goal line from Marshawn. I wonder if he's going to eat a blizzard at halftime again. That's a weak goal, Freddie. You got to challenge that. You can't stay in your net that deep. The Florida Panthers have scored 3 goals in 44 minutes and 30 seconds. That's Canes better get it together, dude. Canes better get it together. So yeah, we've got all that. We're going to talk some golf, but we have all kinds of debates, water cooler stuff. I mean, we're going to talk NFL. We got it all. So, but first, Edge, I just want to say we have solved concussions.
We have concussions?
We have solved concussions.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Here's how we've solved concussions. We have to modify and
wrap your tongue around your brain.
Move. And I'm pretty sure that's a downy woodpecker right there that we're looking at on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who can't listen to the podcast, it's on your screen is a picture of a woodpecker with X-ray vision, looking like an anatomy photo, where you can see its tongue going in through its mouth and looping up around its brain and around its eyeball to the top of its beak. So basically a C-shaped tongue that goes from the top of its beak around its brain and eyeball down to its tongue. And this is how we solve concussions. Okay? The woodpecker's tongue is one of nature's most astonishing adaptations. Far longer than its beak, the tongue extends back into the skull, wrapping around it, sometimes even looping over the top of the eye socket. It's not just to catch insects buried deep within tree bark. It's a shock-absorbing part of the anatomy. It slams its beak into wood at speeds 20 times per second. That is moving.
That is hustling.
It acts like a biological seatbelt, distributing the impact forces and helping to protect the brain from trauma. This remarkable design, supported by a specialized structure called the hyoid apparatus. We also have a hyoid bone. Shout out humans. We have a hyoid bone. Bet you didn't know that. And allows the woodpecker to perform its relentless pecking without suffering concussions, a feat no human could match unprotected. We're basically having unprotected concussion intercourse with ourselves. With our brains.
So why don't you be the first to start stretching your tongue around your skull?
That's exactly what we have to figure out a way to get. I don't know how this thing, Tex has got to get in here at some point because he's the bird expert. But I don't understand how they eat. Where does the food go? Does it split? Does the tongue split and then go back up?
It looks like it's 2 tongues. Like it's 2 on both sides. So maybe
that thing, dude.
A little gap is where it goes.
I mean, we got Roger Goodell out here shelling out millions for that stupid Guardian cap.
Oh, that's what I was about to say, though. Is that the new Guardian cap?
I mean, it's intracranial. I mean, Elon Musk could put a chip in your eye socket. Let him put a cow tongue across your brain. You know what I'm saying, dude? I mean, the science is right here. We're over here putting freaking Lego blocks on our head, running around playing sarcastaball with football, and here we are with the woodpecker, and they got it figured out. So I'm just saying, the science is out there for us. Let us be the first to say we told you so whenever people start trying to stretch their tongues. Where's Marilyn Manson? Didn't he? No, the Gene Simmons, the guy with the super long tongue. Let's get,
oh my God.
Kiss from Kiss. Let's get him in one of those cars. Tell him
Marilyn Manson tried to split his tongue, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. He did
snake.
Something. But I'm telling you right now, we have the science. It's laid out right here. We just got to figure out how to get our tongues longer and wrap them around our brains. So stop wasting your money, Goodell.
I'll let you try that because after just having surgery anywhere close to my tongue, I'm done with that. I'm not doing anything like that.
B. McCormick's here. He says no brisket slander.
I wasn't slandering. I was just stating the fact. It is a fatty piece of beef.
Oh, Eric's here. You shape your fighter jets like birds, so it only makes sense you shape your helmets like woodpeckers. There it is. You shape
Dude.
the helmet like woodpecker skulls.
Dude.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Always full of good ideas. He always has something in the chamber, Eric. He's incredible. I think he might be coming down here in a couple months. We're gonna have to get together and discuss this woodpecker helmet. That's exactly right. Damn it, that's good. When Tex gets on here, we're gonna revisit this. Okay. Edge. Football is back. Before we get into all this, we've got the headlines coming up in a second.
I see Clemson already. I mean,
football
speak to my soul.
Is back on your screens. Those of you can't see the screen, if you're listening to the podcast, shout out to you guys because we've had an uptick in downloads, especially on Spotify. Also, subscribe to the show. Thumbs up if you like what you're hearing so far. All that stuff. But on your screen is the cover of college football, EA Sports College Football 2026. On the cover are the wide receiver from Alabama and the wide receiver Jeremiah Smith, and I think it's something Williams. Ryan Williams or something from Alabama, and then something Smith from Ohio State. I can't remember what his name is. Jeremiah Smith.
And automatically, if you ever did place a future on Alabama or Ohio State, go ahead and get that off the books as quick as possible because they got the jinx on them already.
Oh, that's so true. Does the Madden curse apply to the college football 26 curse? Do you want to be on the cover?
I don't think you want the cover, period. That's why they nicknamed it the Madden. Like Sports Illustrated cover, you don't want the college football cover. You don't want any cover. Just stay low and in the background, but noticeable in the background where everybody sees you, like that beautiful orange tiger paw right back there in the background. Just
Clemson's on there. Are you worried? Does it have to be a player? Can it be the logo?
No, it's got to be a player. No.
Okay.
Because that's a broad statement. This is the college football 26, and you can't talk college football without talking about Clemson. So
let's count up all the SEC schools. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Georgia made it, but barely up there in the top right corner. Do you see him up there?
Yeah. A&M.
Way up there.
LSU.
2. Yeah. 3.
You got Alabama behind the receiver
4,
there.
5, 6,
Tennessee,
7,
Texas,
8.
Auburn, and Ole Miss.
And then Big Ten, you've got 1, 2, 3. You got 3 ACC schools. You got Arizona State, Notre Dame.
No, you got 4 ACC. Florida State, top left. UNC, Miami over on the right.
Oh, yeah, Clemson. Is this foreshadowing? And then Big Ten, you've got Oregon. You've got Michigan. You got Ohio State. You got Indiana. Those 4. Kennesaw State made the cut somehow. And
Army
if you look up
Air
here,
Force.
if you look up, Air Force and Army are on there. And if you look right there right where the 2 is, look who's there, boys and girls. It's the Block A.
Appalachian.
It's App State. Is that foreshadowing? SMU's on there too. I see him right there. I see SMU. So that's 5 ACC. Boise State's on there. So I don't know what they're trying to signal with this, but maybe they're saying that Air Force, App, Boise, and Army are your group of 6. Maybe going to be fighting for that last spot.
Or maybe they're calling a shout out to redoing the playoffs.
Maybe they just went alphabetical order: Air Force, Army, App State, Boise State.
Nah, not at all. Clemson's behind Ohio State.
I love this. I would like everybody's going to be reading this, being like, "What does this mean? What are they trying to say? What is But this guy right here, the dude from Ohio State, he is a freak. That wide receiver, he's a freak. So, but we have got to get Tex's opinion on this woodpecker helmet stuff. Pretty
Where's
simple.
he at? He's over
I don't know.
He's chasing his kids around.
Yeah, he said he was coming. I don't know what exactly he said, but he said he was coming. We'll go back to it whenever we, because he's a big bird guy. So he said he's coming. So we'll get his opinion here in a second. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and hit the Salute Your Sports, and let's get into some of this stuff. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Okay. Salute. Okay, Salute Your Sports. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the topics that we will be discussing before we get into golf and such. Number one on your screen, here's our we have a 3-1 problem in the playoffs. Who can save us? And right now, the Timberwolves and the Hurricanes are completely letting us down. We as fans deserve better than 3-1 series leads.
They're trying. They're trying. The Hurricanes is trying. I mean, you got, what is that, 17 shots on goal right now? They're trying, dude. It's just not working for them.
I got to give them credit. The last game, we're going to go over it here in a minute, but the last game they played, they got back to their roots. They didn't try to be the Florida Panthers. I mean, they play a similar style, but Florida Panthers, a bunch of bullies in front of the net, and you're just not going to go toe-to-toe with the four lines that they have to do that. But we need a 3-1. Who's going to be the hero at 3-1? We cannot go this series, 2 series ends tonight, and then tomorrow night the other 2 series end, and then we're stuck with like a week without sports. That's going to be terrible. That's going to be terrible.
What you need to do is just go ahead and say that the Hurricanes are dead, because you said that last show and they won that game. So
I will declare that they are dead. They're done.
There's
no way they can come back in the third period. They have nothing. They're a bunch of cowards. Number 2 on the list we're going to talk about. The SEC, yet again, is on another power trip for the college football playoff. It is unbelievable. The coordinated – I got to give them credit. The coordinated effort that they are putting out there is something that all the other conferences should take hold.
I can't wait till we talk about this.
Oh, we are gonna go. And then we got the College World Series, which I think starts tomorrow. The College World Series starts tomorrow. The regionals, just another display of how a playoff should work, that has worked. That's awesome. That gives you all the parity in the world, and yet the idiots in college football can't figure it out. So those are the 3 things we're going to cover. So let's go ahead and get to, I forgot what the first slide is. Oh yeah, here it is from Sports Center. The graphic is just exactly what we said. Every conference final playoff series is a 3-1 showing right now. You got the Thunder just mauling the Timberwolves, the Pacers leading the Knicks, Panthers leading the Hurricanes, and then the Oilers leading the Stars. So we need a hero. Cue the music. The Canes are on another power play. Let's go. Okay. Quickly, here's your, what do we want to say, 2.5 to 3 minutes of basketball?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay. On Monday, a couple days ago, the Thunder beat the Timberwolves. We're in a game where pretty much I think Anthony Edwards just didn't show up. He was like 4 for 16. Like I said earlier, where he just didn't. You can't lose games and be like, yeah, I'm cool. It's like, no, dude. If you're going to be the face of the league, you can't have that. And then on yesterday, the Knicks lost to the Pacers, 130 to 121. I think I wrote some notes down for these games. Halliburton's dad was back. McAfee was at that game. Triple H was at the game. Timothy Chalamet continues to dress up like a complete psychopath at the games. And the Pacers lost game 3 again and then won game 4 by a deciding factor. And then in the Minnesota, I wrote down the hacking at the end of the game for the Minnesota versus Thunder game was annoying. And is Ant-Man a fraud? And the Thunder hit a lot of threes. So there you go. That's the summary of those. And right now, currently, the Thunder are destroying the Timberwolves. Now, I did screenshot some funny things that made me laugh. This is the Timothy Chalamet guy at the Knicks game and the Pacers game the other day. I still don't know who this guy is, but he looks like the bowler that says, "Who do you think you are?" Pete Weber. With this picture with the 2003 Oakleys on, you know what I'm saying? The Daredevil glasses.
Yeah.
So that one made me laugh. Secondly, Tyrese Halliburton's father, who got in a fight with Giannis Antetokounmpo or whatever his name is allowed back in the Pacers game in the suite for game 4. He missed 8 games when he got in a fight with Giannis. You gotta I know you're probably mad at your dad. Like, whose dad is more of a problem? Patrick Mahomes' dad or Halliburton? That's what we need.
I was wondering if you're going to go Patty Mahomes or not.
That's what I'm sitting here thinking. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, we got to have these guys fight.
Or Ball.
Yep. Somewhere. Do something. Get us the matchup everybody wants to see, which is Patrick Mahomes' dad versus Tyrese Halliburton's dad. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
This also was hilarious. Todd Whitehead at Crumpled Jumper came up with a stat where it's just a graphic where it says 400 yards passing and no picks. And it's a list of NFL quarterbacks who have the most passing yards in a playoff game without throwing an interception. And he lists Tom Brady had 48 passes and 500 yards. Drew Brees had 43 passes and 466 yards. And then he put Tyrese Halliburton had 77 passes and 444 yards without a pick. It's a great graphic, dude. This is a great graphic.
God, I'm out of here slinging shots right now.
Dude, football, my basketball, anytime you can. For real. That's all I'm saying. All right, we got we're going to get a third period of the most desperate hockey you've ever seen in Carolina, so we'll see what happens. And Tyrese Halliburton became the third player to put up 30, 10, and 15 in NBA playoff history, and he's the first to do it without any turnovers. That's why I had the passing stats on there. I'm pretty sure that's all the basketball. If you want basketball, go somewhere else. We just pick out stuff that makes me laugh. There you go. NHL, like I said, Monday, Hurricanes get back in the series with 3-1. They finally showed some life. We had the Stankoven. They broke the 19-year curse by getting an Eastern Conference final win. Stankoven scored the goal, and then they got two empty netters, and it was just a 1-0 basically goal that, like, everybody said that they had to win, like, because they weren't going to beat the Panthers at their own game, and the Panthers are just an absolute wagon. Bobrovsky's playing out of his mind, so on and so forth. But they're down going into the third. We're going to have I want them to keep winning because I want more hockey for this weekend. I want a game on Friday. Give me a game on Friday.
They just put 10 shots on goal in the last minute and a half of a power play. That's insane.
We need more. Got to have more. So, and then, I mean, if you're a Canes fan, are you mad? I guess you got to be. I was listening to a show today, and it's,
or is it like you're an Irons fan where you're just used to losing?
I got something for you later, dude. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna roast myself. But if you're a Canes fan, like, man, it seems like the same thing every year. It's like being a Bills fan, I guess.
Or a Niners fan.
Or we just get to at least we get to the Super Bowl. The Canes haven't won an Eastern Conference final game for the first time in 19 years the other day. Niners made it to 2 Super Bowls, buddy. Recognize. And then the second series, Dallas and Edmonton. Rupe Hintz was back in this game. He's the guy that got slashed and probably broke his foot on a dirty hit from Darnell Nurse in the game 3. But the Oilers win 4-1, and they've got a commanding lead going back to Dallas. Zach Hyman got knocked out of this game, which is unfortunate for the Oil because he was playing really good. And the biggest thing I took away from this was Dallas's offense stinks. They had 7 shots in the third period.
Jeez Louise.
We're sitting here and, like, before the series started, it was like, man, Dallas has a lot of depth. And they're just not doing anything. Like, all their big players are minus in the plus-minus category. Like, it's terrible. Wyatt Johnson and some guy.
So maybe it's the true Dallas form where they're choking in the playoffs.
Is Dak Prescott in the facility somewhere?
Oh, gosh. Get that man some pure leaf and get him out of there.
Because if he is, you need to get him out. Scotty Scheffler was there and they won. So maybe they need Scotty Scheffler back. That's probably what they need. But anyways, I don't know. Dallas looks, for as much talent as they have, or you thought they had.
Yeah, I'm really shocked. I was hoping Dallas would pull that one out.
I just don't understand. Like I said, as much
I
talent as you
think we
thought.
actually called it 2 in 4 games, didn't we?
Yeah, but
Or did I say that to somebody else? Because I was like, yeah, this is going to be just walking a dog on them, and nope, I was completely wrong.
you're talking about Dallas
That
walking them.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't for some reason. I mean, Skinner's playing out of his mind, right? He's we flashed the stats not too long ago about how he's like got a less than 1 goal against average and a 98 point whatever save percentage. And I mean, it's the Oilers defense has just been suffocating. Like the Dallas Stars can't get anything to the net. Period. I'm just watching them and I'm like, they can't even shoot. It's terrible. So we need something special from them because I'm sick and tired of this watching these playoff games suck. Like we're watching the Thunder right now. They're getting beat by 40. It's terrible. I mean, the Wolves are getting beat by 40. What a joke. How do you just quit? How do you have no cojones to go out there and try? I mean, this is terrible. Anyways, I don't care. We're just pulling for the Hurricanes in the third period. That's what we're doing. Speaking of Hurricanes, this made me think of this. I saw this and I was like, you know what?
oh man, it is
Yeah.
hurricane season. Dang
You
it!
see what I'm saying, dude?
That reminds me, I'm cutting every tree down in my yard. I'm doing it.
Dude, I gotta get my boat lift fixed. The 2025 Atlantic hurricane season begins 1 week from today on June 1st. Everybody get ready. Unless you're in the NHL playoffs and hurricane season about to be over. That's why I put this in there. Now let's look at some of these names. Umberto, Barry. You can't be a hurricane named Barry, can you? Come
Jerry.
on. Barry, Jerry. What are they? What are they? Happy Gilmore? What do you say? I'll just go down by the bay.
If we have a hurricane named Karen, it's gonna be like the worst one. Like it's gonna be a 5 going from Florida to New York. Like first time New York's got terrible hurricane damage or something.
Oh my! Hurricane Van. Shout out Butch. Sebastian, spelled very
Olga.
weird. There's some interesting names on here. So you heard it here first. Storm names. How do they do this? How do they pick the names?
I don't
get
know.
it.
I think it's one letter every year, and they just come up with random names. So, like you
Oh,
see,
look at that. No. A, B, C, D, E, F,
I
G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. There's no
wow,
Q.
dude, yeah, you got it, didn't you? Yeah. But see, like the first storm of the year will be Andrea. The second storm of the year will be Barry. The third will be
Chantel.
Chantel. You like that's how they go through it.
Oh, they do go in alphabetical order. I can't believe I just figured that out.
Jeez, dude, you live on the East Coast next to a beach. Like, what are we?
I don't know. But that just made me, when I saw hurricanes, I was like, oh, I'm going to screenshot that because hurricanes, as one hurricane season ends, another begins.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Okay. That was a bad joke.
Yeah, leave that alone.
All right. So we need the Canes to come back in the third period. Everybody root for the Canes. If you're listening to this after we record it tomorrow, then oh well, we'll see what happens.
Don't tell us.
Okay. Moving on to college football. Apparently, again, I've got so many pictures here to show. I took so many screenshots of quotes and so on and so forth. But apparently now they're floating around the idea of, I've seen so many different things, right? And it's mainly the SEC running their mouths. You don't really hear anything else out of anybody else, right? And the college football playoff 5+11 model draws interest from the SEC coaches, an alternative option to highly publicized automatic qualifiers, Sankey said. Quote, at the coaching level, the question is, why wouldn't that be fine? Why wouldn't we do that? My story with Pete Thamelier reports. So they're talking about the 5+11 model. Tex.
Pause this conversation immediately and go back.
We need your opinion immediately.
There is such thing as woodpecker lips.
Yes. Tex, we solved concussions. I need your opinion on this. Did you know that a woodpecker's tongue loops around its brain? You're muted. Tex. I can't hear you.
He's frozen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we got you now. There he goes.
All right. Do you remember at our grandparents' house, they had those books, those nature books?
Uh-huh.
And there was a picture in those books that was very similar to this one.
Okay.
So, yes, I knew that their tongues wrapped around their brains because as a young boy, we probably read those books 1,000 times. At least I did.
Dude.
You remember that for 35 plus years ago.
Dude, yes, because the picture looked very similar to this.
So the question
Except
is,
there was an acorn woodpecker instead of this woodpecker.
Is this a downy woodpecker?
This one looks like more of a red-bellied woodpecker.
Dang it.
It's got red on the back of his head.
Oh, the head, the downy woodpecker has the red cap.
Yeah, it has a little red cap. Yes, yes.
My question is, how does it eat with its tongue doing that?
Because its tongue squishes all the way out of its face, and then it like sucks it back into. It has like a little hook on the back of it. You've caught a seagull before, so
yeah, we caught one this year at the beach.
Yeah, so if you pry its mouth open, it was an accident of circumstance.
Right. We weren't fishing for them. I can promise you that.
Two flying bullets hit each other, essentially.
Right.
And so
if
you
tree
pry their
falls
mouth
in the woods, do you hear?
Yeah. If you pry their mouths open, they have like a hook on the back of their tongue. So like whatever it is they're eating, they like position it in their mouth and they like toss it up and they put it on that hook in the back of their mouth and they swallow it. It's crazy. It's a crazy looking thing.
That is very crazy.
Yeah.
So should humans start stretching their tongue so they can wrap it around their brain housing group?
Yes.
In order not to get concussions.
I think you like stretching your lips.
It says
really long lips.
It allows the woodpecker to perform its relentless pecking without suffering concussions. And so I came across, I said, we solve concussions. We just got to, and then Eric in the comments said, we need woodpecker shaped helmets. Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that would solve the concussion pandemic. No, that's not a pileated woodpecker. No. B. McCormick. The pileated woodpecker is Woody the woodpecker. Yeah, he's got a crest. Okay, what were we talking about?
SEC.
Here we go. All right.
Perfect timing for Tex to walk in, too.
Let's go. Also, Brisket, yes or no, Tex?
Yes.
National Brisket Day.
Yes.
So we're talking.
We said that you, of course, would do brisket because you're one of those guys, puts the entire shaker of seasoning on the brisket and it goes out to your smoker, your little Wi-Fi smoker, and presets it where it's already warm, throws it in there, wraps it in aluminum foil, goes out and mist it every other hour or two, and then going back inside and watching football. And you're like, wow, that's a lot of hard work. And you did absolutely nothing.
You put it out, and then you're like, oh, look at these burn ends. You just keep saying burn ends over and over and over again.
I don't smoke stuff.
Except cigars.
Yes, except cigars.
I'm proud of
it. So basically, we're back to this again because I've compiled, I think, a message board. Hold on. Yes, I did. Look at this masterpiece that I've created.
Yes.
Of all the quotes and this isn't all of them. This is just some that I just kind of grabbed because this whole thing, again, started off with they're going to expand the playoff or they're going to do away with the automatic buys. They're going to try to get automatic qualifying for the four in the SEC, 4 in the Big Ten, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows the story so far. So I just went ahead and started quoting Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, on the NCAA governance proposal. Ross Dellinger reported, the SEC has asked for more autonomy for the 4 conferences. I don't have the authority to just depart the NCAA. I've shared with the decision-making working group that I have people in my room asking, why are we still in the NCAA? So now
I love how that was just leaked too. Like, come on,
dude.
That's one of those things like, hey, Shefty, put this up.
Like, I'm convinced that this is all a coordinated effort because I screenshotted all the different coaches that I could because I knew I'm sitting here thinking like they're all saying something, but nothing is the same. You see what I'm saying?
It's twofold. I think like one, I think it's a coordinated attack, like you said, from the SEC, and how they said that one of the quotes is like, I don't need somebody like the ACC coming out saying, it's for the good of the game or whatever. There you go. The top middle.
He says, I don't need lectures from others about the good of the game, talking about the ACC commissioner or coordinating press releases about the good of the game. He references the Big 12 and ACC releases in wake of the seeding vote last week. They're going to go to the straight seeding model.
So that's one shot, right? The second one is this is every coach's chance in SEC to pull the old Nick Saban, when back in the day when it was like if you had one loss, you might get in, 2 losses, you were definitely out. And that was the year that Nick Saban had 2 losses and he fought everybody saying that how he deserved it to be in the playoffs. And now it's every coach in SEC coming out saying, well, I think, our schedule, strength of schedule is harder. I think this, that, and other. And you'll see it from Kirby Smart.
Here.
You've seen it from A&M's coach, Elko.
Right here.
And you've seen it from Alabama, which Alabama is completely irrelevant because they lost, 4 or 5 games last year?
They got blown out by Oklahoma. They lost to Vandy.
Yep.
Right? They were 9-3.
Exactly. Right. So, like that, this is their one opportunity to say, well, man, you put anybody against SEC and look what happens. And, this is their golden opportunity to be unapologetic and say that their conference is better than everybody else. And also take stabs at, the playoff committee for not putting more SEC teams in. When in actuality, we all know what this is about. They know that SEC brings in the most money, right? So they're going to go ahead and say whatever they can say while it's not football season and they don't get fined. And it's going to be a bunch of coaches like Texas that's going to be crying like, well, I think we deserve to be in. We got a great team and we paid our people a lot of money.
Well, he came out and said, Sarkisian came out and said, there's no way anybody can go 16-0 anymore. And it's like, okay, buddy.
Here we go.
Yeah. And it's this whole thing was set up like it's the guy who's the loudest in the room usually is not the guy who's always right, correct? Isn't that the saying?
Yes.
Like, take it for somebody who's the loudest in the room a lot of times.
And is almost always wrong.
Yes, most of the time I'm just blowing nonsense. Like, but the fact that they're the ones coming out and trying to be the leaders and like trying to everybody knows how a locker room works. Like the guy who's rah-rah yelling at everybody all the time usually is not the leader. Like leaders are like just natural. You know what I mean? I don't hear the Big Ten saying anything, but maybe that's just because my algorithm's all messed up. Who knows? But the Big Ten's not coming out and saying anything. They're the ones that are just running through everybody right now. Right? I mean, so there's more quotes about Greg Sankey spoke a lot about the CFP, where the format might be heading in 2026 and beyond. Among the notable comments, well, in our own room, I've had athletic directors tell me directly that we've given too much away. In your own, so you mean to tell me your own room, the people that pay your salary, the ones that tell you, and you guys all confer and meet and do this stuff all together, that you've given too much away? What have you given away? What have you given away? There has been so much given to the SEC. A couple years ago, they put Alabama in. This is shout out Group of 5. They put Group of 5 guys. They put Alabama in at 12-1 over an undefeated FSU school, 13-0. That was like 2 years ago. So the fact that they're running around saying, "Oh my gosh, we've been so gracious. We're such a gracious this. We're such a gracious that." Would you stop it? Like what do you want us to feel sorry for you about? What do you want us to feel sorry? You want more people in the playoff? You get every benefit of the doubt all the time, every time. If there's a team if there's a team that's 12-2 from the ACC and a team that's 12-2 from the SEC, guess who they're going to take? Now, if the SEC team is 9-3 and there's a 10-1 or 11-1 ACC, there's a debate. But it shouldn't be a debate. But if there's the same record, you're going to get the go. Like, I just don't get it. They've grown Morrison in a 16-team field. The league has not settled on a particular preferred model. That's the concern of the SEC. Strength of schedule was simply not properly evaluated and considered by the committee. I'm so sick of this strength of schedule, dude. That's all they talk about. If you criticize the SEC, well, we play a harder strength of schedule. Vanderbilt lost to Georgia State. Vanderbilt beat Alabama, right?
Yep.
Somebody else want to go?
Pre-chunking. I like it.
I'll just keep yelling because you can't. There are a select few teams, right? This all started when ABC inked its deal with the BCS, right, in 1996. That's when it all started. And then the BCS had the rights from like 2005 to 96 to like 2005. Then Fox got it. And then the SEC around 97, I think, inked its deal with ESPN. So right then and there, that tells you that the BCS interest was with their product, which was which was the SEC. You know, like the fact that the ACC still has a deal with ESPN2, but they're more Raycom, or used to be Raycom for a while, but they're kind of second and fiddle because they've invested so much in the SEC. So you had that whole thing starting when the BCS started, 96, and then ESPN kind of gotten a deal done in 97 with the SEC. And since that point, if you go back and look at the national titles, before 96 and 97, before 2000, somewhere around that area, go back and look at all the titles and national titles. The SEC was in there just about as much as every other school. But since there is a clear line of demarcation from 96, 2000, in that range beyond, where the SEC has just skyrocketed to being in every single national title game almost, or in some sort of consideration. And you can't tell me that it's not money driven. But I just, so you've got Kirby Smart coming to it. There's no outcry saying it's unfair when the SEC gets 13 out of 16 teams in the basketball tournament by using RPI. I have a hard time thinking Ole Miss, South Carolina, Alabama were not part of the best teams in the country. There was an outcry, dude. Did you not watch any? Like they live in an echo chamber. They live in a hollow. They live in their they live in SEC land where everybody was like, there's no way the SEC has 13 of the best college basketball teams in the country. There's no way. Everybody was saying that if you weren't an SEC fan. Kalen DeBoer.
And there's no way that Ole Miss, South Carolina, or Alabama is the best teams in the country, because now, granted, I'll give it to South Carolina. They did beat Clemson last game of the season, last game of the regular season.
But it wasn't like they blew them out.
Exactly.
But they're acting like they're just mauling everybody and there's no contest. Don't even play the games.
And when is the last time Ole Miss has been relevant?
They almost lost to Tulane this year, did they not?
I would probably say since Eli Manning, honestly. Like, I don't know. Ole Miss is a great party school, great for the SEC, fit set, but leave it at that. Like, you're not going to see Ole Miss in a natty. Alabama's time is up since Nick Saban's is over. They're done now. And like we said earlier, that now with NIL money floating around, you used to go to Alabama or a school like Alabama and be an elite player and still know that you're going to wait 2 to 3 years sometimes before you even step foot on the field. But you did it because of your under that Nick Saban tree, and your odds of going to the league were very high. And now at NIL, they're like, you're either paying me and I'm playing as soon as I get there as a freshman, or I'm going to this other school.
Yeah.
So
Texas Tech,
Alabama's about to be irrelevant. I'm
pretty sure Texas Tech has the number one recruiting class. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because they just sold their oil company in order to pay everybody
got like
to get there.
$7 billion. He's walking around like Scrooge McDuck.
And how mad is University of Texas and A&M about, Texas Tech beating them in their own state?
I hope Texas Tech the best team in the country. I hope they win every game by 40. That would be hilarious. But Kalen DeBoer, the coach of Alabama, comes out and said, you wonder what would have happened if other people would have played our – they did. University of Texas came in their first year and played in the championship game. Did they not?
Yep.
What are
But now they're considered SEC. Now they're considered SEC, so it's okay.
But that's they're like, I wonder if another team would have come in here and played this schedule. They did. Literally. Texas did it. Came in, won all. Well, they didn't play all the hard teams. You said your conference from top to bottom was the best. Nobody could run through that gauntlet. And in fact, it's just like every other conference. There's 3 or 4 teams, and then there's everybody else.
Yep.
And Texas comes in there and goes like, what, 12-1? I mean, Oklahoma beat Alabama for crying out loud. My goodness. And Texas A&M coach, it's hard to measure Mike Elko, coming from the ACC, what it's like to go through 8 or 9 SEC schedule. The committee has a tough job to figure out when just looking at resumes. It's hard to say this isn't the toughest conference when it bears out every year a number of players selecting the NFL draft. I'm sorry.
I feel like there was a memo sent out from Sankey, basically saying that, hey, everyone, I need some, take some heat off me real quick. Everybody step up and here's your free shot to go ahead and send to the NCAA and the rest of the division about how SEC is so great. And there was some memo sent out internally, so everybody jumped on the bandwagon. It's like, hey, look at us. We're cool,
everybody's text you what you're going to say in the group message, guys. And let's not say the same thing, right? Make sure we all don't say the same thing. But are we going to measure success of football instead of winning football games? Who gets the most players to the draft? Is that what happened to Mike Elko? Right?
That's what he's trying to do.
Hey, just don't play the games, everybody. Don't play the games. How many people did you get drafted? Right? Is that what sports are about? No, dude. We were part of one of the greatest upsets in the world. Nobody gave us a damn chance.
But look how many people got drafted from University of Florida, like your boys said, and how that panned out for them.
Yeah. Oh, Novak?
Novak, yeah.
Yeah. Just because your teams
which
get
is
the most
SEC school,
you have the most talent. You don't have the best teams. There is a difference between talent and teams. We've all played on teams where we didn't deserve to win games but won them. Have we not?
Yeah.
Tex, you remember we used to play Lexington and Thomasville and those guys? There was more athleticism and talent on those teams than probably any team in the state of North Carolina. But they didn't play as a team. So just because you have all the talent and you get the most players drafted does not equate to you getting to run around and tell everybody that you get to run the show. That was the one that got me all fired up was this one right here in the bottom right. It's clear that not what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, it's clear that not losing
is hockey game. Me too.
Yeah. It's clear that not losing, Greg Sankey says, is more important than playing quality opponents. Yeah, dude.
That's why every year Alabama plays Charleston Southern and whoever at the end of the year.
Yes. Well, we're just not going to play these tough games. What tough games? Have you looked at your out of conference schedule recently? Goodness gracious, dude. They're so aloof that they just say whatever they want, but they have the people that are holding the microphones in front of them, they work together. So they don't care. They can say whatever they want. Nobody in the microphone is going to ask a hard-hitting question because that's their employees together.
Yeah, they're employed.
So it's like, I love that line. It's clear that not losing, which AKA winning, it's clear that winning is more important than playing quality opponents. Well, yes, Greg Sankey, winning should matter. You should put your team on the field against another team in a completely unbiased situation and let them play the game and then see what happens. Whoever scores the most points wins. Dress it up however you want. You wanted to say it's clear that not losing is more important than quality opponents. I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that. That's just winning.
Play to win the game. You play to win the game.
Go listen to Herm Edwards' press conference like 20 years ago. Greg Sankey.
Yeah.
Golly,
hey, you know what? We lived through the time of the great press conferences too.
You're not kidding.
Jim Mora. practice.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Allen Iverson practice.
Yeah, Allen Iverson practice. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Herm Edwards, Darryl Green.
Darryl Green, R.I.P.
Yeah, we thought they were. We let him off.
Off the hook. You play to win the game. I just can't believe. You know who this? You know who this reminds me of? The SEC is the Dallas Cowboys.
No.
They don't
Cowboys,
care.
See, listen.
No. Let me finish.
Now you're just taking shots because you got yourself all worked up.
You're
starting to be the loudest guy in the room again, who's always wrong. We've already discussed this. You just need to stop. You just need to stop where you're at. Just stop where you're at.
No, the Cowboys. They're the Cowboys. They're over there laughing. Greg Sankey's like, any publicity is good publicity, guys. We're just trying to get likes
trying to find that glory hole.
That's right. Yeah, well, just give me some shoes to lick or drink a beer out of or whatever he likes to do.
Oh,
Jerry Jones. So that was the college
football.
An
interview. He was trying to find that glory hole.
That was the college football quote board from the SEC. Just an all-time coordinated attack, and you can't convince us otherwise.
Yep.
That's not even. It's just. And here's another one. The Big 12 commissioner Brett Yormark told me today. This is from Heather Dinich. We give credit around here. His league not only approves of a 5+11 model, it presented it when the Power 4 commissioners met recently in Charlotte. It has always been our first choice, he said. It's fair and rewards on-field performance. I'm not surprised the SEC coaches like it. They don't want on-field performance. What are you talking about? They want to. Who's got the most players drafted, right? Who has? You know what? Get all your recruits, count how many stars you have, and then don't even play the game. We'll just put up how many stars you have, run everybody out there, and we'll just count 5 stars, and then that'll be the game. You don't even have to hit anybody. Just be like, oh, look at all the stars you have. You know, we'll spend 15 minutes counting one teams and 15 minutes counting the others, and that'll be the game. Stupid. Greg Sankey says certain formats, the 4-4-2-2-1, could actually cost the SEC qualifying teams. In a top 16 or 5 automatic qualifying, 11 at large format, the SEC could get 5 to 6 teams in. Here's a breakdown of the number of teams by conference finishing in the top 16, the last 11 college football playoffs. The Big Ten, who I've heard nothing out of, would be leading the charge, and the SEC would be second in the 16 team, and then it'd be reversed in the 14 team. Here's the issue. Like, everybody thinks that we're saying, like, disband the SEC and get them out. Actually, get them out of here. If they want to go leave the NCAA, go ahead. Go start your own tournament. We'll do our own thing with the rest of the conferences, which would be freaking awesome. Get back to real football and not have to do all this. Well, we deserve the most. We deserve this. We deserve that. You know what? Get out of here. But anyways, the big I don't even know what I was about to say. We're talking about something. I forget. Oh, I don't know where I was. Oh, what I was going to say was everybody understands that we're not saying that these teams aren't good. It's just you can't decide the outcome of the game without actually playing the game. That's the problem everybody has. And if there's a blowout every single Final Four there was to the end of time. Since they started this thing, there's been 1 or 2 blowouts every year. So it happens, even with the best 4 teams, quote unquote. So just shut up with that. Any thoughts on these things? Any more thoughts? Oh yeah, I got your picture in here, Edge. Don't worry. Tex, what do you think?
I think football's almost back, and we've beat this subject to death. What's next?
Typical SEC fan.
I love it. Yeah, that's right. Oh, we don't like the truth. We can't handle the truth. Ugh.
This can't handle the facts.
Here's another one. If only top 16 seeded teams receive bids, it would be the SEC and the Big Ten, and then followed by the Big 12, ACC, and Notre Dame in Group 6. And then I made some sweet memes. So here's the 3 dragons, the 1 goofy face dragons. It's like, oh, who's the serious March Madness bracket dragon? Yes, College World Series and Women's College Series brackets. Oh,
shut it! Don't.
Oh my gosh. Hurricanes are the saviors. And then on the right with the goofy face dragon, is the college football playoff. And then we can't get through the show without doing an Undertaker meme. Greg Sankey in the SEC of the Undertaker. AJ Styles just having a nice time. Was a real college football playoff with parity. They can't let it happen. They can't let it happen. Okay,
Man,
Edge.
Wrestling was great back in the day, wasn't it?
It was. It was so good.
So we talked about this last show, and
let me lead you in. As a bracket, he has fixed the college football playoff bracket. Here it is. Go ahead.
And I did this in all of 5 minutes, by the way. So, like, all these brains, meeting at the SEC conference and NCAA conference and all that other malarkey, literally sat down for 5 minutes and wrote this out. So, for the playoff, you could do it two ways. Basically, had Mississippi River divided, right? So,
love that.
If you're on the west side versus east side, you're basically, playing for the West Division, the East Division, and then y'all come together and play for the Natty. Or you do the best matchup, which would be your strength of schedule overall, right? So you have all the
I'm
B1
out. Strength of schedule.
and it would have to be conference strength of schedule as well. So you have all your conferences: ACC, American, Conference USA, Big 10, Big 12, Big Sky, Pac-12, Mid-American, Mountain West, SEC, and Sun Belt, right? All together. The first round bye would be the best overall record. So if a team did go 15-0 or 16-0, automatically they're sitting out for the first bye. And then this is when I said, like, you could divide it for, like, Mississippi, for example. So you would have the American and Sun Belt play a game, the Mountain West and the MAC play a game. The winners, say, we'll just, use it hypothetically, say American, or we'll say the Sun Belt, App State,
Shout out App State.
And the winner of the MAC would play, and then they would go on to the next round, right? So now you got the second, round, basically whoever wins that, and then the third round goes to the finals. And then you would have the Big Sky versus Conference USA, Pac-12 versus Big 12, SEC versus Big 10 in the first round, right?
Love it.
And then there is no other conference to match up, so that whoever gets that first round bye would play the winner of said group, SEC versus Big 10. And then that winner would go on to the semifinals and then the national championship. And so what this essentially means, and what we discussed before, is this is the winner of your conference. So eliminate all this other at-large bid and all this other horse crap. Win your conference and go play. And take all the conferences, put them together, play it out, and see who wins the Natty. And then there's no more discussion. And it also is twofold, because if you do it this way, it evens the playing field with NIL.
100%.
Because
that's the part that people don't understand.
Because, like, it's going to be hard for a MAC or a Mountain West team to compete with an SEC money, right? But if you say, hey, we're willing to shell out some cash just to get you to a conference championship in hopes that you can push us throughout the playoff system, it starts to even it out. And then you're not going to see Texas Tech being able to spend $30 million on their team, or an Ohio State spending $26 million on their team. Because now it's like, I'm playing, or either I'm going over here to the Mountain West. I'm playing, or either I'm going to the ACC. Like, it starts to even it out and self-disperse. And you actually have a chance at, AK Cinderella story, where App State's got a chance to go all the way up to the Natty.
That's right. Well, what it does is you get paid to make the playoff. So you get all that money to make the playoff that you can reinvest back into your program. So I get so mad at all this, because it's just like, they just need to let them play the games. Like, and I don't think that the coaches want to solve anything, because they get to keep going to meetings and all these, like, exotic resorts, and, like, having, like, all-inclusive meetings and talk about football for like 5 days. Oh, we got another conference, honey. Got to go down to Charleston this week, and We're going to be there for 3 or 4 days trying to hash this thing out. They don't want to solve anything because if they solve anything, their vacations are over. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I like this. Winners get in, everybody else is out. And if you want to win and get in and make and incentivize winning, like you win your conference and make the playoffs, you get money. I don't care if you're in the MAC. That'll make the MAC better. That way everybody's competing now every day to try to get that championship. Not for a stupid, meaningless bowl game.
I would even one up it and say, like, have, play every team in your conference. So get rid of these cupcake games. I can't stand it. It's a waste of time.
What's the point of conferences if you're not going to play them?
That's right. If you play everybody in your conference, SEC, ACC, doesn't matter. Play everybody in your conference. And at the end, you have the 2 best teams go to your conference championship. Whoever wins the conference championship then goes to the playoffs. And you end all this malarkey. Like, was it the greatest game ever that Michigan paid, what was it, $6 million to App or whatever to come up there and get their face kicked in back in 2007? Yes. Is it in the history books? Was it the greatest moment ever in college football? Yes.
Yeah.
But look that boosted App. Don't get me wrong, but if you play your conference, play everybody in your conference, and the Citadel doesn't go and play Clemson, right? And Clemson plays everybody in their conference, and they're the undisputed champion for the ACC. Why are they not going to play for Natty?
Agreed.
It's the same way throughout all conferences. Get rid of these stupid cupcake games. Get rid of the whole strength of schedule argument altogether because you don't like your conference. Everybody that floated Texas and that wanted to go to SEC Texas, now all of a sudden it's either you win or nobody cares about you. So win your conference, play everybody in your conference, and then put it back on the field and let it go play.
Make the conferences matter again.
Yeah,
make them matter. That's the problem. We're just getting away from conference, and they just want to put in whoever's got invested. B. McCormick says the truth is Boise State and Arizona State didn't deserve a bye week this year.
100%. Yes, I agree with that.
I mean, yeah, but that's just the way it was set up. I mean, that's just how it went. And it's not like they lost, but it wasn't bad. Arizona State gave Texas everything they could freaking handle. That was the SEC runner-up. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? They didn't win, but, I mean, and Boise State was a couple of field goal kicks away from, missing those 2 early field goals was terrible. So, but, anyways. Okay. Final one. Road to Omaha, boys. Road to Omaha. Isn't this another nice bracket right here? I mean, Vanderbilt, the number 1 seed. Texas is number 2. Arkansas 3, Auburn 4, 5 is North Carolina, 6 is LSU, 7 is Georgia, 8 is Oregon State, 9 is Florida State, 10 is Ole Miss,
11 is Clemson.
Clemson, there you go. 12 is Oregon, 13 is Coastal. They got hosed. 14 is Tennessee. 15 is
Son of a
UCLA.
biscuit.
16 is Southern Miss. So this is, oh my gosh, I just saw it. I wasn't watching. Of course, Barkov is just an absolute monster down there. Can't get him off the puck. Orlov. Wow. That was just a man play by Barkov right there. He just dipsy doodah 3 guys right there. That was impressive by Barkov. I don't know. But here's the regional. This is just a beautiful display of I love this so much. Because you get the true Cinderella. Like you'll get this with the Cinderella, then you'll get the NCAA basketball with the Cinderella. And they're like, oh, football is not the same. So because you won't let it be the same. Set it up. Let it happen. This thing's beautiful. Yes, I know the SEC will host half of the NCAA regionals. So you don't think I did my deep dive? Here we go, boys. This is from Ray Cartwright. This is hilarious. How to be like a SEC baseball school. Number 1, move your fences in 30 feet.
Dang.
Number 2, schedule one non-conference tournament. Number 3, schedule the rest as non-conference scrubs as home, and just win just half of your conference games. You'll be rewarded with an easy path to Omaha if you successfully complete all these challenges.
Sounds
He
familiar.
got like 2 million hits, dude. He went in on 11 of the SEC, 16 SEC schools had a non-conference strength of schedule in the bottom half of the college baseball. It's not a question of how they artificially inflate their RPI, but why they are rewarded for it. So they had a terrible – this is Texas non-conference strength of schedule was 203. Arkansas, 174. LSU, 221. Look at this. All these are in the triple digits. They schedule these non-conference BS schedules and then play. They do the same thing in football. They do the same thing in basketball.
That's
the
right.
SEC has it's a Ponzi scheme. The SEC has a Ponzi scheme.
Preach.
Like they figured out we're just going to parade around saying we're the best. Look at our strength of schedule. Look at our strength of schedule. Look at us. Look at us. They're like that guy, the ShamWow commercial guy. You know, you need ShamWow. Dry your car off in 5 seconds. ShamWow. ShamWow. Ashton Schaefer BMW. Whoo.
Oh, Lordy.
It all results in Coastal Carolina. Teams like Coastal getting hosed. Coastal had 48 wins, 4th most in program history, and they're the number 13 seed. And that's what all this boils down to. But you know what? They get to settle it and play it on the field. Boys.
And free concessions.
Exactly. Yes. Shout out Coastal free concessions. Here we go. We've got a beautiful uniform lineup of the regionals. And everybody was tasked with picking the best, the one regional that stuck out to them the most. So, Tex, which regional stuck out to you the most?
Probably the Eugene one because everybody's green except for the one team.
That's a great
Arizona.
point. Who is it? Who's in there?
Arizona.
Arizona's in there, but who else is in the Eugene Regional? Oregon. So Cal Poly and Utah Valley. Whoa. A lot of greens. Are we going to have to do a mascot bracket again? That's a great.
That didn't work out so well for March Madness.
How many green teams are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 green teams. That's pretty good. I think orange is pretty prevalent.
Yep. Which I'll take that lead in. The easiest region and the most beautiful uniforms on any field is how about them Tigers? That Clemson Orange regional right there. Woo! Boy,
Purple.
let me tell you.
Purple.
Let's go. Because, no, actually, this is fake news because they'll probably be wearing their military green hats.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, respect that then.
Yeah. So, and, you know, you're going to be playing USC Upstate, Kentucky, and who's that? West Virginia. And they're going to be packing their bus and going home.
Take me home, country roads, to a place you don't belong, and that's Omaha. Pack your bags. You're going back to the mountains. See you later. Okay. I would have to say, I think Tallahassee for me. Or
Tallahassee? No way, dude.
Corvallis, too, dude, has just a great mascot. I think Corvallis Regional is probably, they got the Trojans, they got the Horned Frogs, they got the Gales, they got the Beavers. I love those mascots. None of the colors are the same. I think it's the most unique. I love it. Give me the Corvallis region. So, whoops. Love it. Anything else on the college football or College World Series?
Are we putting our bracket together and posting it for
I guess we could.
This coming week?
I think it starts tomorrow, so that's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right. Love it. Oh, Tex, anything else on the baseball regionals?
We got to have Butch weigh in before we send our brackets out to the public social media, you know, because otherwise he's got to fact check everything baseball related.
I love it that they were like the SEC's hosting all like they do this all in every single sport. The SEC does this, the SEC does that. We get it. Okay, you all play each other and then rank each other really high. We got it. Get over it.
But also, like, just because you're a football team doesn't mean you're a baseball school.
Right.
I mean, look at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a terrible football school, but they're pretty damn good in baseball.
Well, they beat Alabama, so who should have been in the playoff, according to a lot of people.
True.
So.
And, Butch's favorite team, Wake Forest, is not very good at football, but they're pretty good in baseball. So,
shout out to the person who made this graphic, too. Awesome. Can't remember who it was. Okay. Let's move on.
You serious?
Oh my God, you're an idiot.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, quickly. X. Which 2024 playoff team will miss the playoff in the 2025 NFL season? Is it Baltimore, Buffalo, Denver, Detroit, Green Bay, Houston, Kansas City, the Rams, the Chargers, the Vikings, the Steelers, the Bucks, or the Commanders? Tex.
take a shot and say it now.
Do it.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Yes!
Say the same thing.
Get
Get them out of here. There is no way the NFC North is getting 3 teams in again. No chance. JJ McCarthy, he can sing Country Roads Take Me Home. Absolutely. Get him out.
I knew as soon as you started asking this question, what the immediate response for all of it. Well, it just didn't happen this year, but
I'll go out. Buffalo Bills not going to make the playoffs. Is it they have too much non-football related activities going on?
Chargers? I mean, come on, what are we talking about here?
There's just no way the NFC North gets 3 teams in again. There's just no way. I don't think it's going to happen. The Rams are fraudulent. They're out because the Niners are taking that division back over. And the Steelers, I don't know if the Steelers are going to make it. They may not have a losing season, but, well, I don't know. They'll make it. They always
Chargers?
No, they're going in the right direction. The AFC West and the NFC North each had 3 teams.
No.
I don't know. What if the Commanders just completely implode? That would be incredible. The Bills, if I had to power rank, I'd say the Vikings 1, the Steelers 2. Number 3 would be
Houston.
I think Baltimore is going to be on the ropes this year.
Woo! Tell him.
I think.
Tell him. Let's go. Love it. Love it. Also, quickly, this is the top 5 best feelings as a man. I don't know who made this, but it said the razor on the back of your neck during a haircut was number 1. The physical touch of a woman was number 2. Someone yelling, quote, he's a shooter when playing pickup hoops. Number 4, your team winning a title. Number 5, first drink after a long day / week. Anything missing as a man?
I don't think we're allowed to say it on air.
I think the morning of the boys' golf trip.
Yes.
Like waking up after.
Or is it the week of the golf trip?
I don't know.
Like,
the first morning you wake up and it's like tea time. Everybody's hyped up. You're playing AC/DC Thunderstruck, and at 7 o'clock in the morning and everybody's just like, oh God, what are we going to get up and go play? And it just takes off from there. And you just put on a performance that you didn't even know you had in there.
You wouldn't know anything about the razor on the back of your neck for a haircut, though, because you have yet to do it. So
that would be on top of my head, pal.
Either way, you have yet to cut your hair.
I'll do it.
Sure, yeah, next year.
Tex has been here twice. He's had plenty of opportunity to do it. Carolina's on a power play.
Again.
Davis.
Yep.
Yeah. This
Huge.
is it. Anything else
They
is
get
missing from this
3 minute advantage because they're going to pull the goalie after 1 minute.
Dude, sticking your shoulder pad in somebody's solar plexus and just decleating them is a very good.
Oh yeah, and you hear that get?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like, that's
that is epic. Yes,
that's tough to beat. Just
the sound that the crowd makes after you make the hit. Oh, Yeah.
And I'll say this too because Tex doesn't know how this feels, but watching your team win a title is pretty euphoric as well.
I wouldn't know it either because my team loses every time they get in there. So
I've
it
seen
sucks so
3.
bad.
Oh my gosh!
I've seen 3 Cowboys Super Bowls in my lifetime.
Shut up, dude.
I've seen.
Penguins.
No, he said top best feelings as a man, not as a little boy.
I've seen 5 Pittsburgh Penguins titles in my lifetime. I have seen 1 Texas Rangers World Series in my lifetime.
Digging deep, buddy. That's a hell
What
of
am
a shovel you got.
I've been on the field as
Shut it!
Okay. Top 5 best feelings as a man. That's a good list. This thing went viral. Good for that guy. Okay, next is golf, and then somehow Derek. God, dude, we need it badly. Everything you got. Hey, Canes, come on. What were we about to do? Everybody, if you're allergic to electric guitars, cover your ears. Okay, we're to talk some golf here. We're in Ohio, Dublin, Ohio. Oh my gosh.
See, this is when I wish I could skate, and just so they could put me on the ice, and I just go start just putting somebody's skates above their head right now.
That
Just
guy
lay them out.
Going on a full-blown hackathon.
Oh my God, no!
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh, it's over.
Yep.
It's over. Oh, he came out of the box.
Yep.
Wow. The Panthers are going
back. You gotta respect
this
guy's that's doing that though.
Did you see the guy who had the yellow Panthers jersey on, the old school jersey?
Yeah, the palm tree on.
The old sweater.
Yeah.
That's a
the first team I ever played for.
God, dude, he just caked it in there.
Oh, I remember that.
Was Panthers colors. Remember that?
I remember that.
We were
the
Panthers
Piedmont
colors.
Eagles.
Yep.
The Piedmont Eagles. I remember that.
Yep. We went and played in Chicago in the national tournament.
I remember that.
It was crazy.
We're at the Memorial, the Muirfield Village Golf Course, Jack's Place. Rory not showing up. 72 golfers in this tournament. Top 50. When there is a cut, you have to be within 10 strokes of the leader or top 50. $20 million purse, signature event, $4 million to the winner. At least last year, that's what it was. But some golf news, they are changing the playoff format, and I think the SEC is behind this, of course. Greg Sankey probably was like, oh, we could change golf too. Losers. But they're not going to do starting strokes. They're doing away with the 10-stroke lead. 72-hole winner will be crowned at the FedEx Cup champion. More challenging course to set up, include more risk-reward moments. Prize money will be distributed throughout the FedEx Cup playoffs instead of $25 million at the East Lake. So they're making changes to golf. Everybody's yelling on what they should do, what they shouldn't do, and it's an individual sport that goes all year long. And, if I don't know how you make it better. Everybody's just like, make it match play. Well, what if so-and-so loses? Well, then guess what? They lost. It's called playoffs. Happens all the time. Like, just because you're the 1 seed doesn't mean you get a free ride all the way. I mean, we've had 16 beat a 1 all the time or a couple times in college basketball. It happens. So just don't suck. Tiger Woods' son won a tournament today. He won the TaylorMade Invitational, Team TaylorMade Invitational.
Nice.
He beat top amateurs Miles Russell, that guy's good. Luke Colton, Tyler Watson, more. Are we starting the run, boys?
Is there a young Tiger?
Is he sponsored? Oh, he is sponsored by Sunday Red. You can see it right there on his shirt. Okay. Also, shout out to Lexi Thompson. She's playing in her 19th U.S. Women's Open this week. She's 30. For context, Greg Norman has played 19 U.S. Opens. He's 70. So Lexi Thompson, I guess, played this whenever she was 11 or 12.
12.
Holy smokes.
12, yeah.
Whoa. I think we might have been there for that.
Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking the same thing.
I remember seeing there was her and then there was another chick.
We were more interested in Michelle Wee and Natalie Golbus.
Yes. Yep. We made them laugh. We made one of them laugh. I remember that.
Yep. Michelle Wee.
We were at Pinehurst.
No, we were at Pine Needles.
Pine Needles.
Yep.
Yep. I think we were there for that.
Mm-hmm. I think we were.
Who was
too.
the other? There's another chick from UC Irvine, but shout out her. Will Zalatoris has undergone a second back surgery after re-rupturing 2 discs.
Bro.
Guys,
He's
the
done.
amount of restraint that I had to express from going in on him having another surgery when he probably shouldn't have had the first one, buddy.
Well, let's talk about this logically. He probably didn't do proper load management and got back there too soon and had some, kinesiology guys that they're trying to tell him, like, no, you just need to load it more. You need to load it more. And it do proper. If he took notes from the NBA, he probably would have had a healthy back and probably wouldn't be going through a second surgery.
What he probably did was get red light therapy and cupping and needling and all this stuff that wasn't, hey, your disc will spontaneously resorb eventually after a few months. Don't do anything stupid for a few months. And it will eventually go back to normal. But because they're pro athletes and then, it doesn't work after 4 weeks, it's like, oh, you got to get surgery to clip those herniated discs. Well, what could go wrong there? Well, now you've got less space between the discs because you have less material. And let's go ahead and expedite the stenosis.
This is the sports show.
Sorry. Anyways, Edge got me. Edge knew what he was doing right there, jerk.
Bait switch.
He got me good. One of the greatest traditions in sports, boys. Hockey handshake line. Love it.
Oh, it looks like Bud and this guy are arguing right now. You see a coach fight?
Woo! Rod Brindamore. Well, Rod Brindamore is just pissed because he could only win one conference championship game.
Hey, but you know what? They're not 15-0 or 16-0 in championships, conference finals.
Yep. They did it. They beat it.
Yep.
They did it. They broke the curse. The Canes broke the curse. Here's the favorites for the Memorial.
Oh, smack, dude. This is dude, you spoke it in existence. It's about to be a three-peat coming on.
What do you mean?
If Florida goes back, it's a three-peat, right?
No, they've been there 3 times in a row.
I don't know who this guy is behind Bobrovsky with the camera bag, but his hair is these two guys with the hair are spectacular. I got to rewind that and get a picture of those two guys. They look like an 80s metal band.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Do you see those guys? You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Dude, that's J.U.Y.S. little spot, isn't it?
Look at that, dude. There's Luongo. Man, all-time hair.
J.U.Y.S. usually holding the mixer bag.
All right, I think Scotty has a logo up here in the top right corner, but Scotty is the favorite at the Memorial. It's plus 280, followed by Xander and Morikawa at plus 1,600, JT at plus 1,800. Yeah, right. Ludwig Oberg, 2,200. No. Cantlay plays well here. And Tommy Fleetwood trying to get off the schneid, who's played like 7 gazillion tournaments without a win. So, anyways, everybody's betting on Matthew Fitzpatrick, according to Golf Tips Checker. Go check him out at Golf Tips Checker on Twitter. 286 tips, 50-plus sources have a lot of people betting on Fitz at 40-1 and then Hovland at 28-1. There's Straka, who's been up there all the time, Siwoo Kim, Bezadenhout, Matsuyama, Connors, and then JJ Spawn. So people looking at value here. They want value. A lot of them are 28-1 or beyond. So I don't know. I don't trust any of these guys, quite frankly. So here's all your information about the course. It's lengthy, but only 66% of the tee shots are hit with a driver. If you miss the rough, you're screwed. Toughest course to gain strokes on approach over the last 4 years. 6 toughest par 5s. The grit going for the green metric is really difficult. Average approach distance is 167. Fourth toughest course to gain strokes around the green. Scrambling from the short grass has only half as many attempts as from the rough. Success rate of only 45%. Toughest around the green rough shots on tour, so do not miss the green. 11th easiest course to gain strokes on putting, so you can putt here. Easier drastically. 2.1% 3-putt rate. Second highest bogey rate at 22.1. Lowest birdie or better from the rough at only 9.4. Third toughest par threes. Seventh toughest par fours. Shout out Ron Close with all this information. PGA Splits 101. Go follow him. Best Burst Golf. The best in the business. With all that information, we have compiled a list of golf G.U.Y.S. golfers up your sleeve for your DraftKings lineups. Without further ado, Tex, would you like to lead us off with who you selected?
I picked This Bud's for You, Bud Colley.
That's right.
He
You're doubling with the bubbling.
Yep. He finished third place last week and was under par for all 4 rounds last week.
Woo!
So, hoping to see him continue that and not fall back into what he was the week before, which was a 16 bogey guy. So we don't want that. Continue on the good stuff.
We don't want Budgie. We want Buddy.
Nope. Yep.
We want Birdie Bud. That's what we want, not Bogey Bud. 6,800, top 20 at plus 220. Edge. Tradition never graduates.
I mean, you're stupid if you don't pick Glover. Go Tigers.
Okay. J-Vi phoned in from on the plane to give us Max Greaserman, or Greaserman, whatever you want to call him, 6,700. Butch P gave you Matty Schmidt at 6,400. He had I think he's had 3 top 10s in his last 4 events. He's on a heater, top 20 plus 320. I'm going to go back to the well and give you Brian Campbell. All the metrics for this course favor somebody who's accurate off the tee. You do not want to be in the rough because everything gets drastically more difficult. So why not pick a guy who's top 20 in driving accuracy? And if you look at his strokes gained approach and strokes gained around the green, Brian Campbell is top 30, I think, in both, maybe even better than that. So Brian Campbell, 6,100. He let me down last week, but I believe in him. I believe. So also shout out Andrew Novak, who was meeting with Keegan Bradley, who's the Ryder Cup coach. So Novak might be. We're lobbying hard for Novak. Every time I see Novak, I'm like, this is Captain America. He's Mr. America. Okay. We got some how dare yous, and then anything else on the golf tournament. Should be a good one. It's usually a pretty tough kind of, it's not a birdie fest, which is, I love watching those. Jack's not going to walk away from that. Oh, yeah. Rory's not playing in this thing, by the way. Jack was pretty upset about that. But anywho, we'll get these out. Okay, boys. One last.
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare me? How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you, sir? You're gross.
How dare you?
How dare yous? Who wants to go first? I have a couple.
Go for it.
You want me to go first?
Yep.
How dare you to Brandon Jacobs? This is not fair.
Dude, come on.
Come on, dude. Brandon Jacobs says, soon I will be the smallest Jacobs man. He's like 6'5", and his kid is like a good head and shoulders taller than him.
Mm-hmm.
That genetics, that's crazy, dude. Group of 5 guy, by the way. Southern Illinois, I think.
You should get the other picture where he's in uniform. There you go. Look at him. How about a Tigers?
Look at how big this dude is.
Dude. Yeah, that's insane. I'm so excited.
Good. I mean, Brandon Jacobs is massive, dude. He's like 6'5", 240 pounds. Massive. And his son, like both of them, are just gigantor. It's incredible. And there he is in his Clemson uniform. I got more, but if you guys have one, go ahead.
What you got, Tex?
Yeah, skip me.
Okay, I got it. I got you. I'll fill it in. How dare you to bees? How dare you to bees? Worker bees like to get drunk, and guard bees punish them by breaking their legs. How dare you, guard bees?
What?
Let the workers look at this, dude. Bees can become intoxicated by consuming fermented nectar or sap, which affects their behavior and is noticeable in their waggle dance, a method bees use to communicate. When a bee returns to the hive in this drunken state, guard bees can detect the abnormal dance and may respond by biting off the intoxicated bee's legs, effectively punishing it and serving it as a deterrent to others. This strict behavior underscores the importance of discipline and order within the hive. You come back.
I got a
sauced
beehive
up.
now, so I'm about to check this out.
Dude, I need you to get in there with a camera and see who's coming back, staying out late. Nothing good happens.
Giving them little breathalyzers, little bee breathalyzers.
Your ABV? Oh, you get
Yeah.
the ABC store? Come on. You want me to keep going?
No, we're good.
Okay, but how dare you bees? Right? Guard bees, especially. You're in trouble. Can't believe you do that to your boys. Anybody have? I have one more.
My how dare you goes the
king.
SEC
Losers.
and anybody that is a fan of the SEC and any of their terrible schools for trying to cheat their way just to be relevant in the conversation again without even stepping foot on the field. So how dare you, SEC and especially Texas?
Agreed. Biggest Ponzi scheme going. Let's not play the games or do anything and just live off of our reputation. Tex, you have one?
Still thinking.
No, you got mine. The bees.
Yes,
Everybody
bees.
got those
Right.
legs.
That was Josh. Josh says Jacobs is still a man amongst dude. It is unbelievable how big that guy is and how big his son is. Also, how dare you to the Niners for doing this to me?
Let's
First
go.
playoff win since 2010. The Niners, the Chiefs have 18 since 2010 playoff
We've
wins.
already known this, though. We've already said this before.
I know, but I saw it, and I want to how dare them again because they're killing me.
All these Super Bowls, with all these playoffs.
I mean, nobody's won more playoff games without a Super Bowl than the Niners since 2010. This is bull. This is BS. Dude.
Yeah. Mhm.
BS.
Pretty terrible. Pretty terrible.
Also, Bills are in shambles. It just keeps falling. Just keeps falling. Joey Bosa, calf issue. The Bills are in shambles. Might miss the playoffs, Tex. 2 Bills drive.
No, he's just doing proper load management. He's fine.
B. McCormick, here you go. He says Hovland, Cantlay, top 20, JT, top 10, Chef, top 5.
Okay.
Plus 12, 14. Tex, take a picture. Let's put this in. Everybody put that in your computer. From B. McCormick. Love it. A plus 12, 14, absolute farewell fiver right there. Anything else, boys? This was a blast. Nothing gets me fired up more than yelling about the SEC in the college football playoff.
And load management.
Oh. Tex had to reel me in there. I was about to go down a dark alley.
I was letting it sink, too.
It was about to be Zally Taurus because I was about to go down the alleyway.
Let's go. How about them Tigers?
Woo! Hey. Could be Clemson versus Texas again. 2.0.
Good.
Baseball.
They're terrible.
All right. We will. What is today? Wednesday? See you later. We'll see you Sunday. Everybody have a good week. Don't let the SEC get away with it. Go Niners.
Go Tigers.